Hello, welcome back. I've updated a few things, so I'm going to add a little bit to this series for this setup of Necromunda on Roll20. One quick change I just want to show you is so I've changed this in the template character, and I'll just show you in one of these. This Delactuve. It's in attributes and abilities. I've only played this edition of Necromunda once, so rules are a bit rusty when I set this up, which was, you know, in hindsight, quite stupid. I should have got familiar with the rules again before. But yeah, just reading through them again, I reworked the way I've done the melee to hit, and I've changed that in the Google Doc with all these macros saved in. The only change it's done is to take out. It's not going to use the attacks characteristic anymore. So this basically becomes for reference. But it's just so you can distribute your attacks between different weapons and different targets and roll them separately, rather than the way it was before. It would roll all the attacks in one go on one weapon with one target. So you then have to, like, verbally with your opponent say which dice was for which is no good. This way's better. And if I just roll this, it still works the same weapons. The one number of attacks modifier, all that comes up, but you have to put in how many attacks. So if you were going to be allocating 3 attacks to one person, 1 attack to another, or splitting them between weapons, you can just do that in one macro. It's the only change I've made to the character sheet in the couple of weeks since I was last looking at this. Other change I want to show you, or thing I've added in, are these things here. So the flame template and the this blast marker. They're both quite simple to make. This actually, I think this is a bit temporary. I'm going to try and draw something probably in Publisher that's about the right size for a flame template. This actually comes from one of the map packages that I purchased, which is over in Marketplace purchases. This Cybercrunch Sci-Fi Warehouse package, which is I think it's about $5. And I think the Marketplace is a good place to go to for mapping stuff, because you can draw stuff like this, which I think is actually quite effective. It works quite well. And I bought 2 different ones. It was that Cybercrunch Sci-Fi Warehouse and the ship, which is a Warhammer 40,000 universe inspired spaceship interior, or Space Hulk sort of space. And all of these bits, apart from the main base of the map, they're all from those 2 map packages. And yeah, can build up something that's quite effective, I think. I've done 2 different ones as well. Just look at this one, which I haven't really furnished this one yet, actually. In fact, no, not really at all. So there's more to do on this one. Go back to the other page, it looks better and more complete. But yeah, so this is actually a security camera from the Cybercrunch Sci-Fi Warehouse package, which it was the handy shape. There were no auto shapes in Publisher that were going to do that. So I saw that. I thought, oh, that will do for now. But how we'd use it, and obviously when you remove the grid from the page in Roll20, you get a lot more freedom of movement, because this does the snapping thing to the nearest 45 degrees. But you basically get it to the angle you want. You put the camera end on your gang fighter, and it shows up quite well. You can put it over the tokens. You can see clearly who's in this flame template and who's been hit. So that will work. Okay. I did once it's on there, because this is a transparent image, I did go into the token settings and add a tint color just to make it stand out more. And this is, I was going to say similar. It's not really similar. All I did was draw a very small black circle in Publisher. Let's zoom into this actually, so you can see it better. This is just a image of a small black circle that I filled in, exported as an image, uploaded to Roll20. So I did that, and then just in the auras here, made them visible to everybody. But you set, because you want a 3-inch 3-inch diameter and a 5-inch diameter. Roll20 measures in radius, and I just did 2 different colours, one at 1.5-inch radius, one at 2.5-inch radius. That gives us this blast marker that can move around. It appears to be moving around the whole page when I do that. But again, similarly, they're quite translucent. The the auras, and actually looks like here it's sitting underneath the gang fighters, the auras as well. So, but yeah, similarly, you could separate these, have two different ones. It'd just be a case of copying this from here, taking one aura off of each of one. If you wanted a separate 3-inch and 5-inch blast markers, I think it's handy enough just having it on one token there, and you can drag that around, use that on your table, and see who is affected by blast weapons. So that's two simple things. I'm going to do a separate one shortly on line of sight and dynamic lighting, which is you need to be a plus or pro subscriber to Roll20 to access. But it's very handy, and I think it's probably essential for playing Necromunda. So if you're using Roll20 for free, it probably won't work. You could probably find ways around it, or you'd have to have very simple scenery setups. But yeah, that's what we're going to look at next. And I was going to look separately at mapping stuff, but I don't know that there's really much to say apart from have a look in the Roll20 marketplace for cyberpunk stuff. There are quite a lot of packages I was interested in. I opted for the two I opted for. The ship has some quite nice stuff. There are some sort of whole rooms that I'm going to use at some point. You can build like a tunnel network up some of these things. That's obviously Warhammer 40,000 themed. You can see some of the influence on it in some of these things. But yeah, there's really useful stuff in there. And the other one was Cybercrunch Sci-Fi Warehouse, which I think has a problem with it. And I've contacted Roll20 support about it, and like these things, catwalks, you have down here, where is it? Stairs with catwalk, which is what I've used here, and that's why I've had to use grates here, because I'd imagine the catwalks are all supposed to be like walkway places like this, so you can have platforms people can walk across and stuff. I'm pretty sure these images are missing, but Roll20 are adamant that they're supposed to be like a sort of transparent thing that sits underneath to show you where walkways are above, which there's no point in having at all. So otherwise a really good set of tokens, mapping tokens and tiles and stuff. But these were a real disappointment that they weren't there, because they'd have been great for building some of that stuff, building out walkways and things like that. Actually, I'll just talk about the rest of them, some of the approach that we're going to use. So I was thinking it's going to basically be it's Zone Mortalis, isn't it? The sort of tunnels version of Necromunda, because it's on a 2D table. You can't really do the Sector Mechanicus sort of things where you're on different levels and stuff. And I have a bit gone for that sort of thing. And these sort of pale green numbers we got in here, so there's this one here, and then there's a couple of 2s and a 3. They're showing different levels that this particular map is operating at, and you can have set a default, agree with your opponent what the distance up and down between them all is going to be. You've got stairs here, which could just count as clear terrain, which you just move up normally. Ladders here, which just count as ladders, which are in the game, and I'd probably set them to 3 inches because that's the standard height of a floor in the Sector Mechanicus terrain and the original Necromunda scenery, like with the bulkheads. So I'm probably going to do that. Another ladder over here to get up to this one. But I think what you can't do with a sort of 3D table layout on a virtual tabletop is have people go underneath floors as well. So you're going to lose that sort of being a floor below or above somebody, directly above or below them. It's just that this one is like the lowest point, 3 is the highest point, each floor is 3 inches up, is the way we're looking at it, I think. So that is that's basically how I've mapped this table, just using some of these bits, chucking them all on the base map that I have. And I think that's what we're going to try. I'm going to try I've got probably, well, if you've seen elsewhere in this channel, you know there's a Blood Bowl League I'm involved in. That's coming into an end this week, and I think after that I'll look at testing some Necromunda on here, actually playing some of it, see if and how it works. So I'd like to feedback on that after about things we've learned, and see how it's going. And at some point in the next couple of months, if we can get it working properly, we'd like to start running a small campaign, have I think 4 or 5 people who are going to be involved. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.